I'm going to tell you a story about fear and love. I had been dating Matt for a couple of months when he suggested going to Norway during the August bank holiday. Look, we could go camping by the lake, go hiking, and maybe do a cruise over the fjords in Norway. I mean, I responded straight away. It sounded like an incredible adventure. I had never been camped or hiked before. Just seconds after buying a flight to Norway, I found myself thinking, I'm going to be in the middle of nowhere with no internet connection, no public transport nearby, and I don't know Matt that well. What if he's a psycho? Stop it, I said to my fearful thoughts. Let's go there and see what happens. There we were. Matt, me, the tent overlooking the lake, the mountains, the wilderness. Ideal. Surprisingly for me, I was really enjoying our time there. No makeup on, no internet, simple cooking over a small fire. Until the day that we decided to go hiking. The road to get to the start of the hike was a prelude of how the hike would be. Windy, high, and kind of spooky. Matt is an experienced mountaineer, so I followed him. The ground was made of slate, but when it started raining, the combination between the rain and the slate made it very dangerous and very unstable. The beginning was very steep, and we only had a chain made of iron to pull ourselves up the mountain. I looked down, and I could only see the cliff. Matt, with his long legs, was going fast. He wasn't at his element. On the other side, there I was, blocked by fear. My legs started trembling, and my body was a block, stiff block. Suddenly, I became the 5-year-old version of myself, and I started screaming, Matt! Matt! Wait for me! Don't leave me here! When he came to where I was, I said, sorry, I can't do this. I can't do this. This is really hard. I'm very scared. Okay, Beck, you're okay. Look, what you have to do is just focus on the next 3 steps ahead of you. 1, 2, 3. You see? Trust in your legs and do it with confidence. Okay, now you. Put that foot there. Now that one there. That one there. You see? Awesome. We are doing great. Step by step, we were doing the hike. Matt and I were a great team. He was looking at the route and motivating me, and I was just focusing on the next 3 steps. Sometimes, when I looked up, I got overwhelmed. The mountain seemed too high, too difficult, too much. When I looked down, it seemed too slippery, too high, too much. When my thoughts started telling me I can't, then I remembered the strategy. 1, 2, 3, and did it repeatedly. Really good, you are doing very well, Matt said. I was just focusing on my next 3 steps, and I started enjoying the hike. Just thinking about that was liberating. Apart from the rain, we had an intense fog, and it was very hard to see. We saw a man with his two daughters who were lost in the middle of the hike and joined us. One of the daughters was as scared as me, so I taught her the strategy. 1, 2, 3. After a few hours of hiking, we made it to the end. It was one of the happiest moments of my life. I made it. I did it. I conquered it. Me, scared of heights. The view from the top was unbelievable, like a painting. The cliffs, the sky, him. If you are wondering, I fell completely in love with Matt after that trip. And I did with hiking. After all, he wasn't a psycho, and he taught me a great lesson for life. This is the lesson. Sometimes in life, you face a mountain that seems too high, too overwhelming, too much. It can be a mountain, or it can be a project, a decision to make, an illness. When you feel overwhelmed and you start thinking that you can, just remember 1, 2, 3.